Everyone loves to save money.
And we're here to help you play the best games at the lowest possible price. Hi, I'm Marky.
And I'm Freddy. And with that being said, let's get started. The first game we have for this week is on Nintendo Eshop, and the game we chose is Hotshot Racing. The game is currently on sale for $4 only, dropping all the way from $19.
Hotshot Racing is definitely a callback to the older school days of the Sega Saturn or Sega Dreamcast, if you're ever familiar with the Daytona or Sega GT racing game. It's all the way down to its visuals, to a low polygon feel. You have 8 different racers, and they each have their own variants of cars to explore. Now, if you haven't played any of those older styled racing games, I will tell you this is definitely not a realistic racing sim. This is definitely more of a arcadey, cartoony action where there's a million sounds playing and a million sound effects and different music playing that you have to not keep track of, but it's a sensory overload, especially with the bright visual colors. I want to say that drifting is extremely crucial in this game, so if you're not familiar with it, it's something that you would eventually pick up, because the tracks are definitely very slanted and very exaggerated, allowing you to kind of practice your drifting, your slipstreaming of getting behind your racer and taking your shot to jump above them as soon as possible, as well as using a well-timed boost. The other special mode that I want to exaggerate in this game is the Drive or Explode mode, where it's essentially a game version of the movie Speed. You have to maintain a certain speed at the entire point of the race. If it goes below that, your car explodes, and the speed gets gradually higher to see who's the last one standing. Honestly, it's a very white knuckle, very bare bone, by your teeth mode, but it's always fun every time, especially once you get the mechanics down. And it's a great game to try if you're looking for a little bit of nostalgia, or if you're just trying a different mode of racing under your belt.
The game got many patches. The most recent one was patch 1.02, and it was released in October 2020, and the main focus of that update was increase the car speed across all modes, and also the game automatically now prioritize the pad over other control options, which is really good because this is the best way to play this game. And the file size for this game is about 3 gig and 300 megabyte, so you can know in advance, and the sale on Nintendo eShop for this game will end around September 9. The next game we chose for this week is Monster Hunter Rise at Target and Walmart for $44.99, dropping all the way from its regular price of $60. Marky, I know you're a big fan of Monster Hunter, but this is a game I always come across but I never played because there's dozens of them, and I feel I'm very scared to get started on this game because there is too many of them and I don't know if the story is related to each other. So please tell me more about it.
I'd be happy to, Freddy. And let me say that I am a fan of Monster Hunter. While I have not played any of the other entries, or rather I've dipped my toes into ones like Monster Hunter World. And I wanted to stress that while Monster Hunter had a tough time getting me hooked onto it, it wasn't until Monster Hunter Rise where I finally had the opening I needed to really sink my teeth into the series. The big change that you're seeing compared to other Monster Hunter titles, and in this regard too, each game is its own special entry. So Monster Hunter Rise is its own setting. This one's a lot more of an East Asian setting compared to like the full, almost medieval fantasy that Monster Hunter World has been doing in the past. You get to explore many different interesting areas, a lot more differently now because of the movement options that you are allowed in this game, specifically the wire bug and the palamute. The wire bug allowing you to do these almost Spider-Man-like moves to dodge enemies or to traverse obstacles in a way that previous Monster Hunter games have never done before. In addition, the palamute character, which is the new companion of yours, is a dog character that you can opt to ride and to get you to any areas or other monsters faster, or having it assist you in battle as well, giving you kind of an extra teammate to give you the leg up when you need to. Now, I want to say that Monster Hunter Rise does a fantastic job of easing you slowly into the game with a lot of mechanics. There is a lot to learn here, but it gives it to you as gradually as possible, and you have no time limit on learning these things. You have plenty of time for each hunt to kind of learn your best your best strategies, because you're going to be learning about the monsters as well. Each one has its own attacks and tells that you can use to kind of use your advantage to take it down as fast as possible, to learn its weaknesses, its weak body parts, and essentially claim it for yourself. And that feeds an extended loop. That's a lot of fun, and if you can pull other friends with you, it makes it even more enjoyable, just teaming up and tackling big monsters at big challenges as many times as possible, because you're going to want to keep hunting monsters to keep getting the best gear and to keep hunting bigger creatures as your hunter rank increases, which is growing exponentially even with future updates. So I want to recommend Monster Hunter Rise as a newly created Monster Hunter fan. It's a great point to enter if you've ever been at all curious about this franchise.
That's awesome, Marky. I know which Monster Hunter now I'm gonna start playing now. The first information I collected about this game is that the size is around 6.6 gigabyte, but be sure to have extra space because every update is getting larger and larger. The latest update 3.0 will require 1.4 gigabytes of extra free storage space. I also read about articles from the producers of the game, and they gave us some tips about how to play this game. One advice they said, collect everything you see on your way. It doesn't matter if you are in rush or not, because everything will become handy later on. The other thing is your Palamute, or the dog in this game, is gonna be your best friend. Use him all the time to explore new areas quickly. The last piece of advice that they said is that don't worry at the beginning about redoing a hunt just to get complete set from a monster so early in the game. The parts you will get later as you progress in the game will have increased in power, so it's better to keep going. Don't repeat those sections. The game is currently on sale for $45 almost, and that's the lowest price we have seen for this game. And currently the game trades about 22 to 28 at Gamestop. If you want to trade it, let's say you beat the game. The game might take you around 20 hours to beat, but there's also around 40 hours of side missions if you want to play everything in it. So this just tells us that you can pay a lot for this game relatively, but you can still trade it at also a good price. We have a big range for the price trade at GameStop because GameStop has a lot of bonuses you can get on top of the regular prices, and we mention those in our channel whenever they are available. I couldn't find an end date for Target. Usually it will end on Saturday, but I couldn't confirm it. Walmart also is very random, so if you're interested in the game, get it as soon as possible. And I would like to remind you that Target, if you have a red Target card, you'll get an extra 5% bonus discount, and I definitely, in my case, Target will win over Walmart.
We just want to be sure to let you guys know that if you've been enjoying the video so far, don't forget to click the like button, and maybe while you're at it, click the subscribe and the bell icon for notifications too, so that you can stay on top of the deals. We're also going to be throwing to our subscribers our YouTube stories, as well as our Gaming Input Twitter, where we've been notifying people of a lot of flash sales and quick deals. A few examples have been happening throughout the past few weeks. We've had Cyberpunk down to $10, Rainbow Six Siege all the way discounted at Best Buy, and we wanted to make sure we let you guys know because those were deals that lasted maybe through the day, if not a few hours in a lot of cases, and we want to make sure you stay on top of them as well. So stay tuned with us if you want to keep in on that.
Yes, that's right. Subscribing will help you get the deals before they expire. Also, it will help our channel to grow. Our goal is to build a community of gamers who are like us, who have a passion of games but don't want to break the bank playing them. Also, stay tuned. We will announce later in the video who is the winner of the $5 Nintendo eShop for reaching 100 subs in our channel. Alright, enough talking, let's get back to the deals. The next game we have this time is at Best Buy, and the game that we found is at a good price is Shovel Knight Treasure for $24.99, dropping all the way from $40.
For Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, it's been a name that's kind of swept the indie market. I'm sure you've seen Shovel Knight in one indie game or another, but this is its genesis. Yacht Club Games has done a great job of bringing the old Mega Man NES, DuckTales NES, I guess Mega Man X, and whatever old school NES platformer you can think of. Shovel Knight has taken all those things that you've loved and brought it into the modern age. You are able to do so many different things while it's so simple with its gameplay at first. There's not just Shovel Knight in here. There were a lot of expansions that have come out over the years. Plague of Shadows, King of Cards, Spectre of Torment, as well as a multiplayer almost Smash Brothers-ish like multiplayer game called Shovel Knight Showdown. This is all available in that package. You get to explore all different aspects and basically immerse yourself in a world that Yacht Club Games has been growing for a couple of years. And it's fantastic seeing it on sale again, and being able to get it in the hands of more gamers is always a plus in my book.
Alright, couple small tips to help you start the game without a lot of struggles. The air down attack is a pretty powerful way to do consistent damage to bosses. Overall, this game will take time to get used to the mechanics, so don't be disappointed if you die a lot. It's part of the learning curve of this game. Also, I would like to mention that let's say you bought this game has a lot of extra DLCs on the Nintendo eShop that are a lot of times on sale. If you buy this game, you don't need to worry about those. Some of these DLCs like Black of Shadows, King of Cards are all available at lower price, but you don't need to buy any of these collections because this game will come with all the expansions. Also, the size of this game is only 147 megabytes, so it doesn't take much space. You don't need to worry about getting larger space. But remember, if you have Best Buy credit card, they give you 5% bonus on top of any sale price, so make sure you take advantage of that if you have that credit card. The next game we have is Sid Meier's Civilization 6. Target, Walmart, and Best Buy all have it for $14.99, but Nintendo eShop was able to beat the price and have it for $8.99.
With Civilization 6 being out for quite a while now, it's now pretty much the one you go to for any of that strategy, simulation, of course, civilization building. It's in the name. You get to pick any kind of civilization you want and be able to create all different types of buildings, structures, units, and you have multiple ways of winning the game. You can do a militaristic one, something akin to a lot of the, top-down real-time strategy games. You can also progress far in science, or with the wonders of the world, be a big cultural one, or be able to make it to space. You have so many different ways to do it. Now, of course, you have to kind of keep all these options in check because your opponents will be attempting the same thing. So while you're pursuing military, maybe they're already on board with getting into space, but you need to stop that. Using your military forces, you can destroy some buildings and stuff that might hinder the progress. It's really interesting how you have to keep track of a lot of different goals, but thankfully the game manages it in a way where it's pretty intuitive and also incredibly addicting. So many stories that I've heard from a lot of people of just, all it takes is one game, and you're there till 4 in the morning trying to figure out your best method with the civilization that you need. And of course, while there is extra DLC that you can grab for the game, it's also fantastic to be able to just get a big chunk of that game, the main course of course, down to $9, which is fantastic. So if you haven't tried Civilization yet and you're a fan of top-down, first off, I'd really like to know your story if you've yet to hear of Civilization, yet you like top-down games. I got a lot of questions for you, but if you do, it's definitely worth checking out.
I would like to mention that the game ran very smoothly on the Nintendo Switch, and being able to play a strategy game on the go is definitely a plus for this system. In terms of visual and frame rates, they are definitely not at the PC level, but definitely are good enough to have a smooth experience. Strategy games can be complex and complicated, but luckily this game is extremely user-friendly. And the reason for that is that there is a great tutorial system. It will guide you through what you need and tell you exactly what will happen and what you need to do and how to prepare everything to build your empire of your dreams. I have to mention though that you won't be able to play this game online unless some future updates come to add this feature. However, you are still able to play this game locally against your friend. Just make sure you have the charger with you because the game is long and might drain the battery of your console. The latest update was in April and it fixed many crash issues, especially after making the save. Also, this update adjusted the balance between different cultures. Now the game will take around 12 gigabytes, so make sure you have that enough space for it. But in case you don't, I noted that Gamestop is having a sale on the micro SD card for the Nintendo Switch, and the price for it now is $24 for 128 gigabytes. And remember, if you have the membership, you can throw in your $5 monthly coupon and that will knock the price an extra $5 discount on top of the sale price. Finally, the sale for this game will end around September 8th, so make sure if you're interested in this game to grab it before the deal expires.
Now for our honorable mentions for the Switch, there's two games I wanted to mention that we've talked about in detail on our previous videos, so if you want to get more info about them, I do recommend checking those videos out. However, this sale, or these sales, are going on until the 9th of September, so we want to make sure we remind you so you can jump on them before they do expire. And the two games that we have is A Hat in Time, all the way down to $14.99. This is over on the eShop. And then we also have Slay the Spire, which we talked about at $12.49. It's a whole half off on the eShop as well. So we want to make sure you're still notified of those. Fantastic indie games, both a platformer and a dungeon card battler. And I also have two fresh honorable mentions for you. One is for Spiritfarer, an indie game that I'm pretty confident will make you cry, all the way down to $14.99. This is over at the eShop, of course. And then I've got the XCOM Collection 2. As we were referring for Civilization, if you want a strategic fight against aliens using units that you can enjoy and let die if you want to, it's almost at all major retailers at $14.99, dropping from its original price of $50. So I'd recommend jumping on these as soon as possible because it's great deals for great games.
The next surprising deal we have for this time is at Dollar General. Dollar General currently is having 10% off on any gift card you buy for Gamestop, and the value for this Gamestop can go between $20 all the way to $500. So let's say maybe you're gonna buy a Nintendo Switch. Using this discount, you go to Dollar General, you pay $270 using the 10% discount of GameStop gift card, and you get the value of $300 in return, and that's how you save yourself some money. And again, you can use the gift card toward anything you want, the SD card, any game, newly released game. I personally did it myself and it works. The deal is available until this Friday, so make sure you use it. I don't think you can do it multiple times, so make sure you use the right amount that you want one time, otherwise you might need to wait maybe until the next day. The next deal I have is also at GameStop. I personally traded in a Nintendo Switch game, I think it was Yoshi Crafted World, and I put some deposit toward the newly released game. For me it was Ghost of Tsushima on PlayStation 5, and this gave me 30% extra credit on my current trade value, and this gave me in return $39 in store credit that I was able to put toward the newly released game. You don't have to put it toward Ghost of Tsushima. In the weekly ad you'll see the picture be on the screen now. They have like maybe 4 games you can choose from, and don't let this picture trick you, because if they show Madden for Xbox, it's still available on PlayStation 4. If they show NBA on PlayStation 4, it's still available on Nintendo Switch. So it's available on multiple systems, and you can always check on the website as well. I just wanted to throw it there. That's why we always recommend the membership. You only pay $15, but you get $60 in coupons over 12 months. So that's why we highly recommend it. It gets you also 10% of trade credit, and in my opinion, it definitely pays itself.
We recently hit a new milestone over here at Gaming Input. We actually finally hit 100 subscribers. And we wanted to thank all of you guys for the support of reaching that milestone, and we're always hoping to get ever bigger. And we wanted to show our gratitude for you. We did have a giveaway for a Nintendo eShop code for $5, just to let you guys know that we appreciate all of your feedback and your support as we continue to grow the channel.
The winner of this giveaway is Sam from Salem. So Sam, DM us on Twitter and we'll be in touch with you to send you the code. Marky, when do you think we should have the next giveaway?
Do we want to do 250?
250? How about 200?
200 sounds fair. We can do that.
All right, 200.
Perfect. And we're going to make sure, of course, to let you guys know we're going to organize a different giveaway. We're, of course, going to be supporting anybody that subscribes to us, follows us on Twitter. We are going to be throwing a link to that giveaway in the description of this video. We're also going to be throwing it up on Twitter. You have many different options to enter: subscribing, following on Twitter. We're also getting an Instagram and TikTok set up as well, and we're going to be adding those links to it in the future once we get them all set up. So stay on top of it as soon as possible if you want to jump in on our next giveaway.
Thank you, and be sure to check our channel next week for more deals.
Of course, our same question we like to pose to you. We cover a couple of games and we go into details on them. Do you want us to cover a lot more games but go into less details? Any feedback in general, feel free to let us know in the comments below.
Also, remember, if you got other consoles like PlayStation or Xbox, we also got separate videos for those, so check them out before the deals expires.
See you next week.
Thank you for watching.